What is going on, everybody? I've been taking, I don't want to say I'm taking a break from the green car. I'm honestly just waiting for parts to come in. That thing is completely torn down. I'll show you quickly. This video is not about the green car. So you can see it's all torn down. I got everything out. I got all my pistons out, cleaned up, weighed them. All the rods, I'm just replacing all these rods just in case. Everything's apart. I just got my new cam in. Right? They sent me the wrong bearings last week. The new bearings should be here any minute now. Dave's got a cranking rods out of the motor he took apart. He had like a 60,000 mile 6.2 that he pulled apart to build for his car. So I'm sticking the crank, the rods, probably the rod bearings because they look brand new in, and I'm sticking my main bearings in. We're going to measure everything. We're going to get it together. We're going to check the timing on it. You know, the static timing before I put the heads on. Make sure that's all good. And everything else. Project Blackbird. Now this video is going to be a little bit of hodgepodge jumping around because the work I'm doing to this, like I film. I got like 10 hours filmed, but it's like 15 minutes of actual video because of how long metal work and metal fab and rust repair takes. So I have been working on this about 2 hours or so a day while I'm waiting for parts for the green car, so don't mind the jumping around of this video. It's actually going to get cut. When I mean jump around, we're going to cut the video here, and I'm going to put in what I've been doing, and then we're going to come back to this, and this will be the end of today's video. Alright, I'm pushing this thing out. It's so much nicer when there's nothing in it. You can see the before, alright? The engine bay's pretty well shitted up. Alright, don't care about any of that because it's all going in the garbage. A little bit of rust right there, but I'm gonna cut it out. I'm not even gonna worry about fixing it. So I'm gonna get the Scott rod panels and rivet it. We're gonna do like the Mad Max-ish. I gotta fix this. Let's see. Got some rot there. Gotta fix this rot. There's a whole lot of rot to fix, and I'm not a huge fan of fixing rot. And we got a little more on this side. So that's why I stole the other one out. We're gonna cut, you know, most of this one out, drill it out, and swap in the other one that's over there. But we're going to get the aircraft stripper laid down on this and try to get most of this crap off so I don't have to sand it. Okay, not as well as I wanted it, but it is better. I don't become a chemist at your house. Holy crap, thank God it was outside, because whatever concoction I just put together. Whoo! Anyway, now that that's all washed off, I'm happier with it. This is going to be literally scuff and primered. I'll self-etch the rust spots, and like I said, it's going to get the Scott rod panels, the front panels, the upper firewall panel, and that's pretty much it. And it's just going to be satin black like the rest of the whole car is. Got to go over all this crap, a little bit here or there. But like this stuff is easy. This 90-degree stuff, this is really easy. You know, I can cut a piece of metal out, lay that in here and weld it up really easily. That stuff doesn't bother me. This stuff, now I am not gonna get this perfect. It's just not ever gonna be a thing. So, and I don't care. Like, that's not what this car is. This is not a show car. This is going to be a fun toy for mainly the wife to take out and just get in and go. Originally, I bought this car to do a Honda K-Series swap, to really just, pretty much just to upset the Ford boys. They get so in their feelings about everything. I was gonna put a K-Series Honda in it. I got the whole motor. I was gonna put a Nissan CD009 trans behind it, and just go around doing that with turbo, the whole nine, make 500 horse, and just go beat up on unsuspecting stock small block Ford owners and go from there. But my wife's always she's wanted a convertible for a long time. This is definitely, I can probably go out and say, definitely not the convertible she wants, but it's going to be the convertible she gets. You know, my knowledge of this, spare parts of this, it just doesn't make sense not to. Especially with how cheap I'm in. I don't count the spare parts that I took off of the green car. So, like, that's the radiator out of the green car. That's the front support, but I'm actually going to use the stock front support. So I want some more protection in this car. So it's going to get the stock front support, the stock rear support. I'm going to go to the pile of parts that I have sitting for it. I managed to pick up a Team Z K-frame relatively cheap. This is the water pump and pulley system out of the car, out of the green car. When I switched, old gas pedal out of the green car. You know, I got the belts, I got the old transmission cooler, the SN95 spindles. I am putting Brembo Cadillac Brembos on it. You know, hood stuff. And like, it's getting the stock hood, the stock doors, stock gas tank. You know, it's getting pretty much stock. The bodies, there's the stock GT bumper. There's the stock GT rear bumper, stock GT fenders, the quarter panels. The only thing I don't have is side skirts. I gotta source those. But I'm gonna take that Gen 4 5.3 that's sitting right there at the 799s, put a cam in it, valve springs, long tubes, full exhaust, 4L80. Here you go, babe. Have a blast. You know, Terminator X. I opted away from the K-Series just because I didn't want the issues and learning curves of it all. This way, she'll be able to get in this car, hit the key, click it in the drive, drop the top, and go for a ride with relatively minor inconveniences. You know, it's going to get power steering, alternator, the water pump. It's not getting air conditioning. I don't care what she says. It's convertible. You don't need air conditioning. Yeah. The look we're going to go for this car, I think it's going to be more of your pro touring OEM plus-ish look. So it's going to be all stock body, maybe a little chin spoiler up front, maybe a little spoiler on the deck lid. Satin hot rod black, the whole car. She wanted a hot rod black engine bay. It's called Project Blackbird for a reason. Everything under the hood's going to be black. I've always wanted a murdered out car, so I'm not terribly mad. It's getting the factory cheese graters on it. We're not putting LX tails, even though I did find a set in this car. I don't know where that came from. Getting the cheese graters, getting dropped down, some 17-inch by 9s and 10s, or, you know, something wide all the way around. Big brakes, coils. It's going to look aggressive. It's going to sound aggressive. Maybe make 400 horsepower. Who knows? But the car is going to be a blast. So now I got to get it back up on stands, but I'm starting to get back into the metal work. So we got to get this piece off. I got to get this piece off, and then I got to get, you know, this leftover crap here. But Ford's riveting sucks. So this is actually the whole cowl, upper windshield, upper wiper cowl. I just cut the main part out. I got this part all drilled out. Because we gotta cut a big section out of this. That's why the only downside is, so I'm hoping underneath the upper frame rail is okay, because under the upper frame rail on this one was rotted. So I'm hoping I can section this, right, and put it in. And same on this side. I'm hoping I can section that piece and graft it in on this side with minimal work. I'm not a body guy. So fingers crossed, there's probably gonna be a lot of seam sealer to seal it all up, all the welds up when I'm done, but we're gonna give it a go. Got a little rust here to fix, so I gotta pretty much do the same thing on this side. I gotta take this panel out. I thought I had this one too. Maybe this one was destroyed on the other car, so I gotta take this one out nice. Just Ford's way of building this car. This is an 83. It sucks. So let's get some grinding and some cutting going on. Alright, so like I said, we got this one off. We got this whole one off, which is the rest of the upper cowl. That's part of the old dashboard. Obviously we got to come in here and clean all this up. It all looks solid. Pretty happy with that. Well, then we have to decide. So the problem with just sectioning this is that your whole inner structure for your steering column and your pedal box and everything is attached to this. So I have to be pretty methodical about cutting this side out. The other side's not that big of a deal. There's really nothing under there that matters except the seam sealer, but this side, you know, unless I don't know if the other side has all that. So this is what I'm talking about support-wise. So this is actually starting to rust here, but this is a little bit more than surface rust, but it's not all the way through. Oh, that's a good thing. We can save that. Now, oh, that's right, I cut this out on the other car because this was freaking hammered shit. Well, I might have to clean this up the best I can. I really don't want to be upside down on this car drilling spot welds. God damn it. But we're gonna cut this out. Well, we're gonna cut that one out first and see. It's so nasty. Still have to get these old floor plates up from some shit hack cage. Finish cleaning all this crap out. You know, it needs to be weather tight. It doesn't got to be pretty. That might be soft right there. Doesn't need to be pretty, but it's got to be weather tight. Especially in here. You'll never ever see in here. Just show another hole right there. So we got some issues there too. So we might have to section this one over. I mean, there's not any support in here, so this side will be easy. I can just cut this right here. I don't know. The problem is the firewall. You know what I might be able to do? I want to cut this pinch weld back anyway, like I did on the green car. I might be able to just get my air hammer chisel and pop all the spot welds and then just drill them out of this one and weld it back down smooth. But we'll see. Oh, wife and kid are home. Now, we'll pick back up in a couple of days. It's 4th of July weekend, and we're going to go enjoy it. Now, as you can see, let's start calling this thing Patches of Houlihan instead. I cut out this panel right here. So this panel right here is actually this whole inner cowl, right? That comes up to about here. You can see all the rot I've been cutting out of it. I'm trying to see if I actually... I don't even know where it went. I had the piece for right there. Probably threw it away. I get a little deeper. I find a little bit more. Just found a nice little one right there. But all in all, this thing is... I know it looks bad, but this thing is solid comparatively to the other car. I am not striving for perfection in this car. I'm striving for a driver that's reliable, doesn't leak water, and you know, it's going to handle all right. I think I'm going to just make it like... like a road pro touring type of look car, crap like that. I don't know where we're gonna go with it. We'll see where we get there. So I cut the whole inner cowl out because it's a rotted piece of junk. You can see it all. You know, it was completely rotted all around. This is actually a new one. So this is a whole new cowl. I actually still have to change VIN numbers because this is the VIN number off the 92 parts car. I have the VIN number for this, which is an 83. The whole new cowl is in. This even had a little bit of rot in it, so the patch panel. You could see the patch. I'm not grinding it any further than this. That's all it's getting, and it's going to get coated. Done. There's my whole weld. Welded it in. I'm going to shave the firewall. That big ugly pinch weld on the firewall. This is the upper cowl. I still have to cut it off of this. Alright. I'm going to shave that. This is all fully welded out. I got to do some... Oh, one little spot right there. I just noticed. Yeah, when you got a million spot welds, you're bound to miss one or two. Now, there's going to be people going, oh my God, what are you doing? So this one was actually rotted on this side as well. I got a nice seam here, so I actually have a piece of metal cut out that fits right up in here. I got to actually trim this a little bit more and weld that in, and then this will be done. Once this is done, we can start prepping this. You know, I gotta get the metal back right. I gotta clean it up, clean this all up. You know, this isn't rot, this is that crap, whatever. Okay, there you go. Glue, seam sealer, whatever. Cut the edge off, get it on here, weld it down. I'm actually going to climb up under here and weld that whole lip on the inside. I'll probably stitch weld it. I'm not going to fully weld it because I don't want it to lose its strength once I grind this smooth. This is the only body work I'm going to do to this engine bay. And honestly, just because it was so much easier to cut it off than having to deal with the 3 layers of firewall comes out. You got this one comes out, and then the upper cowl comes out over, and it's all pinched weld together. So it's just easier. I'm going to get some panels to cover this, to cover the sides, but those are all going to be riveted in, and they'll be painted a little Mad Max theme-ish. We're not going for that completely smooth look or anything like that. I don't want it. I don't want to do the work. I don't want the upkeep of it. Just low, nice. Thing's going to chop. Gonna sound good, full exhaust, the whole 9, you know. Nothing stupid. But anyway, I gotta make a little patch here. I'm probably gonna cut this out and make a patch for this whole panel. I gotta clean up the whole window area. I mean, we're just working on the engine bay right now. I got this all welded back together, this all welded back together, and I started fitting this panel back in. This is off the 92. You know, it's almost a 10-year gap. They change a little bit. So that is almost fit. I had it clamped in just to see how well it did, because this goes right up. You see some of the spot welds lying right up. But, yep. I'll be like that. My main goal right now is to have the body painted by spring. I know it's summer right now, but there's a lot of metal work to do. You know, I gotta finish out this. I mean, this is ugly. This is probably the worst spot. Well, the second worst spot. You know, I'm gonna have to cut this A-pillar apart, lay in some new metal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this piece. I'm gonna try to make this in 2 pieces because of this complex bend right here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. So I'm going to section this here, right, like that, put a new piece in, and then I'm going to do this piece. I don't think I need to make a 3rd piece for this panel to cover it back up. I don't see the need for it. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably bang this down and just weld it up to that new piece. I don't know. And I got a little hole there I got to fix. I wish I could get a better chassis, but people are like, oh, I got a roller here, it's mint condition, $2,000. That's not what this car is about. This car is bottom dollar, spend the money where it needs to be spent. Like, I spent $300 on this car, it was complete. Had no transmission. I sold the engine for $100. I scrapped the whole front end, I scrapped the doors, the trunk, the rear bumper, and all that, and I got another $100. I'm $100 into this chassis. And then I bought a 92 GT for $300. That was a roller. Yep, that's right. We're going with the original cheese graters. This is the radiator out of my green car. It's going in this car. I haven't decided if I'm putting the tubular front on it. I think I'm going to put the factory crash beams in it just because it's my wife and kid going to be riding in this. So I have the factory crash beam. I just need the stubs. So if anybody's got those laying around, I'll give you my address, message me. Got the cowl panel. The thing that whole started this was people wanted $200 for this cowl panel. I bought an entire car for $300. I mean, I parted that car, and this is the worst spot of the whole thing. You can see that? Now, this quarter panel is just about off, as you can see, right? I actually have this entire piece as well. I took it off the parts car. So I gotta cut this out, find forged spot welds suck. So I got this whole piece, that'll get replaced, right? That rotted piece will get replaced, this quarter panel will get replaced. This quarter panel I have, but what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna section it instead of replacing this whole panel. These quarter panels suck to replace. They just absolutely suck. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But the bottom is rotted, so I don't know. You know, it might be just more work to do all that instead of just fixing it. So here's, that right there is the that rotted piece. I'm going to stop babbling. Most of you have already heard everything going on with this. People have been messaging me incessantly. What's going on with the convertible? You're not working on the convertible. What's going on with the convertible? Guys, it's a lot. It's a lot. People take years to fix cars like this. Years. And that's not even, oh God, hold on. And that's without even having another car. I still got the green car, you know? So, while I appreciate you wanting updates on the convertible, it takes a lot of time. I'm working, you know, I need like 36 hours in a day, every day, and I'd be good. So, we are moving. There is progress. What we're gonna do, this is my goals right here, because I'm pretty much starting from scratch, and you know, we're not going race car, we're not doing cages and all this crazy nonsense. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get all this metal work in the front figured out. Get it all done, get it all primed and sealed. Once that's done, we're gonna work on the engine bay. I wanna get the engine bay, all the rust out of it. I wanna get it cleaned up, all the panels in it, primed, sealed, primed, ready for paint. Once that is ready for paint, I'm going to get the quarter panels figured out, because what I would like to do is get the engine bay and all the jam work done, painted, and this way, once that's done, I could put it up on stands and I could start working on suspension. I want to get all new suspension in this thing. It's going to get all tubular, but it's all going to be rubber bushing stuff. You know, I'll probably go coilover front and rear just to make life easier. It's going to have power steering, it's going to have sway bars, it's going to have the whole nine for normal driving. I have the GT sway bars, which I haven't decided if I'm just going to use those for now and maybe upgrade them later, because I mean the GT sway bars are an upgrade for this thing. Anyway, that's the game plan. Get it in prime. Actually, I'd probably paint the bay and the jams, and then get it up on suspension as high as possibly can on jack stands, so I can tackle the underneath and get it all undercoated and, you know, all that happy stuff. So, get in your garage. I'm literally waiting on the mailman to bring me bearings. and grab a cold drink. It's kind of muggy out. I'm gonna go get a cold drink and get to work on your hot rod. Have a good night, guys.